Hello and welcome to my next random update. This one is going to be a Road Fighter on the NES, a game that was not released in America. The arcade game I think might have been released here, but it wasn't. The NES version was only released in Europe. So I need to click the screen. Right. So Road Fighter, right. I tried recording something before, and the video device, wasn't responding, it said. It didn't record, basically. Is a better way of saying that. And, that sucks. It wasn't actually this, it was Spy Hunter. And then I got the idea while playing that, maybe I should have played this, because this is sort of... somehow, even though this is a more basic game, I have more stuff to say about it. Anyway. So, right, Road Fighter. This game is, well, basically, you have to drive through the cars. It's a very simple concept, right? But, here's the thing. It's actually pretty good game. It's kind of complex at times, because you have to think about the risks of doing things that you do, and, oh, I just lit. It's a very basic game, but the way it's set up, there's sort of complex situations. Oh dear, excuse my suckingness. I've been playing a Flash game that's somewhat similar to this called Freeway Fighter. Okay, it's exactly like this. It's like a trivia type thing. Anyway, and it's much easier, so I'm used to its difficulty. Okay, so, basically this game, yeah, you just have to drive through here, the things. It was, and B is the lower gear, A is the higher gear. That's simple. You just accelerate with B until you get to 223 kilometers per hour, and then you go to A. Going 400 kilometers per hour, which is something like ridiculous. Yeah, how fast is that's like a Bugatti Veyron, isn't it? It's like, let's see. Yeah, it is. It's something like 250 miles an hour. Right. That makes sense. That's really weird, actually. I never noticed that. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's sort of, it's kind of, the setup of it, like I said, it's very basic, but it's, all the cars, different colors of cars behave differently, and that sort of adds sort of a dynamic element. So you have to think about, to brake, there is no brake, but basically, what I tend to do is press B and go into the lower gear. Anyway, why is this suddenly so difficult? Because I've been playing a much easier game that's similar to it. Oh, I just paused. But yeah, it's a really fun game. It's, and I kind of wish it was released here, obviously. I'm pretty sure, like I said, the arcade version was, but not the, not this one. It's, I don't know, it's very much like Spy Hunter, but it plays on just one aspect of Spy Hunter, in that, like Spy Hunter was all about just, or it was about a lot of things, killing people in cars, making sure you don't crash into people in cars, making sure you're not killed by other people in cars. It's a much more complex game than making sure you don't crash into cars. But this sort of, it uses that one element of Spy Hunter, and plays on it in a way that makes it a lot more, I was trying to get that feel. For some reason, they're just white, weird-looking cars. It sort of plays on it in a way that's sort of makes that one element more complex. It is really a risk or a reward thing, because you have to think of the, you know, you're benefited by sort of trying to cut through a tricky path by, you know, well, you have fuel. So, you know, you're benefited by that, you know, because you have to get to the end. Basically, the fuel is just the timer, really. If you stop, it keeps going. So it's basically a timer. It starts kind of abruptly. That's annoying. But it's, oh dear. The oil slicks are the worst part, because here's the thing. I mean, when you think about it, like, imagine that you're going 0 speed, and since all the other cars are going, like in actuality you are moving, and all the other cars are moving slower. But imagine you could just take your speed out of the equation, since according to the camera you aren't moving. You know, for the most part, you just sort of stay put to the camera. All the other cars, then, if you subtract your speed from the speed of those cars, are going sort of negative miles an hour, which basically just means that they're going towards you. This is getting really mathsy, if you prefer. For some reason, that truck there kills you in one hit. Or lorry, if you prefer. Really getting all cultures represented in this video, by which I mean two. And both of them speak the same language. Okay, so not quite as multicultural as I'd like to say. But anyway, the oil slicks, though, since they're not going at all, if you subtract your speed, they're going negative your speed, so they're going towards you at the speed that you're going, basically. So they're going really fast towards you if you think of it that you're not moving at all. I know it's sort of a weird concept, but it's a good way to explain how things that are stationary are more of a danger than things that are moving. Anyway, yeah, so this is, yeah, like I said, it's kind of like Spy Hunter, isn't it? In the last video, and I don't know how I got onto this, to be honest. Oh right, yeah, I was talking about how when you shoot a car, the car sort of stays there. And you know, it's sort of like it's a and I made a comment on that, it's like the corpse of the car, which is kind of violent. And then I said, save that for Cars, or not save that, but that's for Cars 3. Anyway, so I'm saying, I said, I might as well just be saying this, but the problem is you don't have corpses of cars, so it has to relate to the original recording, which was of Spy Hunter, not Road Fighter. Anyway, but my point was that I wanted to go on a Cars 2 rant, because I don't understand. Now I can just go on a rant. Well, this is great. Like my last video was just random rants, like a random rant about the hypocrisy of the internet, and it sort of didn't go as well because I had to record it again, and it didn't go as well the second time. And here is a perfect example of that again. The only difference is that it's not the whole point of the video, at the very least. Yeah, Cars 2, like I said, like I've been trying to say, I don't understand why everybody hated it. I thought it was really, you know, a fun movie. It wasn't like super deep. It didn't, you know, it might not have been like, you know, incredibly deep message or anything, but it was there. It was a good message, and it oh dear. I'm just literally driving in a straight line, and I'm more worried than when I'm moving around. Okay. And, you know, other than that, you know, the whole movie was really just lots of that. How do you... I still don't understand this. How do you avoid spinning out? There's a way to do it, but I've never, ever managed it, and it's really... That's the most annoying thing, is that there's no way to avoid spinning out, but they're clearly... Well, there is, but I don't know how, and it's bugging me. How? How is that done? If you let go of everything, it doesn't work. If you try to counter it, it doesn't work. I think I got it one time and I was mesmerized, but I was talking about Cars 2. Anyway, so here's the thing. I can understand maybe if you don't want a movie that's just senseless action, maybe something that's a little more deep. But then that brings me to another Disney movie that came out more recently, whose name starts with A and ends with Avengers. Can you guess what it is? That's right, Avengers Assemble. Wait, no, never mind. The original joke, because this is trying to mirror the same rant as the last video. The original joke was A, random gibberish, then Avengers, and see how it still starts with A and ends with Avengers. And then I was trying to make a comment on the British name of the game, of the movie. Yes, yeah, the Avengers is a game. Well, I guess it is then. But I was trying to make a comment on that, and then, of course, I forgot that Assemble isn't the same as Avengers. I was thinking Assemble Avengers, which would have made sense, because Assemble does start with an A. But, come on! That's the most annoying thing about this game, though. You never, it's always like, it's kind of, it's frustrating. Sometimes. I don't know. Anyway. My point is, though, I was trying to talk about the Avengers, and then I got on and... Anyway, yes, the Avengers. Right. Or Avengers Assemble if you live in, I think it was just in the UK, I don't know. I think there were other places, weren't there? That had that change, I don't know. I was trying to make a joke, and it didn't really work. Okay, leave me alone. Oh! But yeah, so, you know, was the Avengers really a deep movie? Was the story incredibly deep? Was it, you know... Was it trying to be? No, and neither was Cars 2. It wasn't really trying to be very much. I mean, I guess I can understand. It didn't really feel... Maybe one would say it didn't really feel like a Pixar movie. But, to be honest, everybody seemed to like Brave, and I didn't really think that felt too much like a Pixar movie either. Stop! Stupid oil slicks! Then you have to wait, and it takes 5 seconds, or whatever those are, from your fuel, and it's just... Interesting how I didn't get this frustrated at Spy Hunter, and Spy Hunter's a clearly much more difficult game. Are you serious? I'm right there! Okay, Cars 2. The Avengers. Okay, Avengers wasn't an incredibly deep movie, it was just a lot of action, it was really entertaining, and it was fun. Why is it that it was fine for that movie, and yet Cars 2 did it, and it was the worst Pixar movie? I mean, I can understand, again, it wasn't really deep, and following up, Toy Story 3 and Up, which were, you know, great movies, of course, you can, I guess I can kind of see how it might have been striking, but I just still, I thought it was a really good movie. Really, I mean, it was a really fun movie, I guess. Technically, I mean, you know, it wasn't technically, I guess you could say, the best movie, but again, neither was The Avengers, and that was a phenomenon. So why... I don't know, I don't get it. Chris, I'm not sure what qualifies anymore. I mean, look at Tron Legacy. That was both a lot of action and really deep. And a lot of people still hated it. So I'm not sure what to think of right now. Was it the visuals themselves? Oh right, Tron Legacy was amazing looking. Actually, incidentally, I can kind of get Tron Legacy, because that movie is, I think, worse in theaters in 3D, because you can't, I mean, it looks amazing, but you can't really appreciate that it really is a very deep movie. Really, watch it again. Run it. in red box or something. Buy it on iTunes. No, not. Rent it on iTunes. Or on demand or whatever. On your TV, if you didn't like it in the movies. Then again, the same people liked the Avengers, and the Avengers didn't look as good. I mean, okay, the one thing I do, I mean, the thing about Cars 2 is, I guess, people complain that it was violent. The problem is, Brave was kind of violent, and in Toy Story 3, no spoilers, even though it's a fairly old movie. I mean, not old, obviously, it's not technically old, it's only 2 years, but I won't spoil it, but seriously, that climax, nobody seemed to complain that that was a G movie, but everybody complained that the Cars 2 was. And Pixar doesn't rank their own movies, guys. Nobody rates their own movies. That's the MPAA, okay? And what about, like, The Incredibles? Again, Pixar doesn't rate them, so it wasn't Pixar's fault that it was G. So the violence of it was less than The Incredibles. And The Incredibles was great. I don't get it. I don't get it, okay? Leave it in the comments why you didn't like Cars 2. Which I'm sure you didn't, because everyone doesn't. No, if you did. I don't know, I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. I just don't agree. And that's why I don't agree. See? Just arguing a point. Anyway, just letting the demo go. See, that's the thing I don't get, is that how is it that for some reason now the demo has noise? How is it that whenever the demo crashes, it's just able to recover? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, enough just rambling without even playing the game. That's not a Let's Play. That's a random ramble. Thank you for watching this week's random update. A very, very random update. And I will something later. Starting to get a more established outro.